What if the person you love the most, your husband, your wife, suddenly disappears? And what if the world believes you killed them? Now imagine the truth is even darker. Your partner is alive, and they are framing you. Welcome to Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, one of the most shocking and addictive psychological thrillers ever written. Published in 2012, this novel became an international bestseller, selling millions of copies and later adapted into a blockbuster Hollywood movie. It's a story of marriage, betrayal, lies, and manipulation, where nothing is as it seems. You're listening to Audiosaar, where we bring you audiobook-style summaries of the world's greatest books. Now, let's unfold the story. It's July 5th, Nick and Amy Dunne's 5th wedding anniversary. Nick leaves home in the morning, heading to work at his bar. When he returns later, the front door is wide open. The cat is sitting outside, the living room shows signs of a struggle, and Amy is gone. Soon, police sirens fill the air. Neighbors gather. Reporters arrive. The house becomes a crime scene. Nick tells himself Amy might just have gone out, but deep down, he knows something is wrong. The police question him. Where was he? What did he do that morning? Nick tries to stay calm, but his awkward smiles, his emotionless tone, his fumbling answers make him look guilty. Within hours, Amy's disappearance is on every news channel. Why? Because Amy isn't just a missing woman. She is Amazing Amy, the face of a famous children's book series written by her psychologist parents. A girl who grew up in the public eye, the picture of perfection. The nation falls in love with the story of Amy. They cry for her. They demand justice. And naturally, they turn to Nick, the husband, as the obvious suspect. Because, as the media loves to say, it's always the husband. Nick becomes the villain in a story he never wrote. But what kind of marriage did Nick and Amy really have? In the beginning, it was magical. Nick and Amy met at a party in New York. He was a witty journalist. She was smart, beautiful, and charming. Their banter sparkled. Their first kiss was sweet and playful, with powdered sugar from a bakery dusting their lips. They were the couple everyone envied. Perfect on the outside. But perfection doesn't last. When the 2008 recession hit, they both lost their jobs. Amy's trust fund, built from her parents' books, helped them survive. They moved to Missouri, Nick's hometown, to care for his ill mother. For Amy, this was hell. She missed the energy of New York, the culture, the sophistication. She hated the small-town life, the gossip, the slow decay of dreams. Nick, on the other hand, found comfort in Missouri. He opened a bar with his sister, Go, using Amy's money. He felt alive again. But he also felt emasculated. He was living off his wife's fortune, his career gone. Resentment brewed on both sides. Amy wanted the version of Nick she had married, charming, ambitious, passionate. But he had changed. He had grown distant, irritable. And then Amy discovered the ultimate betrayal. Nick was cheating on her with one of his students, a much younger woman. To Amy, this wasn't just betrayal. It was humiliation. And Amy doesn't forgive humiliation. As the police dig deeper, they find Amy's diary. Written over the years, it tells the story of a wife trapped in a frightening marriage. Page after page, Amy writes about how Nick became cold, controlling, even violent. The entries grow darker, ending with Amy's chilling line, "This man might kill me." To the police, the diary is the smoking gun. To the media, it is proof. To the world, Nick is a monster. Nick insists it's not true. He swears he never hurt Amy. But who will believe him? The sweet, innocent, missing wife, or the smiling, unfeeling husband? And then comes the shocker. Halfway through the book, Amy's voice enters the story. Amy is alive. She hasn't been kidnapped. She hasn't been killed. She has run away, hiding in a motel, watching the news. And she is laughing. Why? Because she planned it all. She forged the diary, carefully creating years of fake entries. She staged the crime scene. She planted clues that made Nick look guilty. She drained their joint bank account. She even used puppets of her friends and neighbors to tell stories that made Nick look abusive. It was her masterpiece, framing her cheating husband for her murder. Amy's words are chilling as she explains her logic. Nick thought he could betray me, humiliate me. But I will not be the woman who is left behind. I will be the woman who wins. Now we see who Amy truly is. She has always been a perfectionist. Growing up, she was compared to Amazing Amy, the fictional version her parents created. Every mistake she made in life was rewritten in the books as something Amy fixed. Real Amy was always measured against perfect Amy. This shaped her into someone who craves control, who refuses to be ordinary, who punishes anyone who wrongs her. She is brilliant. She is manipulative. She is terrifying. And yet, she is fascinating. Meanwhile, Nick realizes Amy is alive. He knows her too well. He recognizes the brilliance of her trap. But he is cornered. He can't prove anything. The police, the media, even the diary, all point to him. Nick decides on a daring strategy. He will win Amy back. Through TV interviews, he speaks directly to her. He admits his flaws. He flatters her intelligence. He appeals to her pride. Because Nick knows one truth, Amy doesn't just want revenge. She wants recognition. She wants to be admired. She wants Nick to say, "You are the best. You are the only one who can outsmart me." But Amy's perfect plan begins to crack. While hiding in a motel, she befriends a couple who later rob her, leaving her broke and helpless. With no money, no safety, and no escape, she turns to her old boyfriend, Desi Collins. Desi is wealthy, obsessed with her since high school, and still hopelessly in love. He takes her into his luxurious lake house. But Desi is controlling, suffocating. He wants to protect Amy, but his protection feels like another cage. Amy, refusing to be controlled by anyone, hatches another brutal plan. She seduces Desi, gains his trust, and then kills him, staging it as self-defense. She makes it look like Desi kidnapped and abused her, and that she heroically escaped. And just like that, Amy returns home, bloody, traumatized, and hailed as a national hero. Nick knows the truth. He knows Amy murdered Desi. He knows she staged everything. But what can he do? Amy now has the sympathy of the entire country. The police believe her story. The media worships her. And then Amy drops her final bombshell: she is pregnant. She secretly used Nick's sperm, stored in a fertility clinic, to get pregnant. Now she has the ultimate weapon. If Nick leaves, he loses his child. If he exposes Amy, no one will believe him. If he fights her, she will destroy him. Nick is trapped. In the final pages, Nick realizes there is no escape. Amy is brilliant, dangerous, and unstoppable. But she is also the only person who truly understands him. And Amy? She doesn't just want Nick. She wants Nick to need her. To depend on her. To stay in her web forever. The story closes with Nick and Amy together, bound by lies, secrets, fear, and a dark kind of love. A marriage not of romance, but of war. Not of trust, but of survival. Gone Girl isn't just a thriller. It's a story about how marriages can be battlegrounds of power. How the media shapes truth and lies. How identity can be performed, manipulated, and weaponized. And how love, when poisoned, can turn into obsession and destruction. And that was the chilling story of Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, a novel that makes us question love, marriage, and the dangerous masks we wear in relationships. Are Nick and Amy monsters? Or just two people who deserve each other? That's the haunting question this book leaves behind. You were listening to this summary on Audiosaar, where we bring books to life through storytelling. If you enjoyed this narration, don't forget to subscribe, share, and explore more summaries of thrilling, inspiring, and thought-provoking books only on Audiosaar. Until next time, keep listening, keep discovering.